Welcome everyone to episode 13 of we got an echo. Hold on.
It might have been Jake if I'm right, because he has his new laptop.
Hello.
That sounds good now.
All right, I think we're good now. All right. So, like I said, episode 13. Currently, we're in the middle of game 3 right now of the NBA Finals. It's 49-45 with 4:22 left in the second. Before we get into all that, gripes over the weekend. What are we pissed off about? Did we have any success over the weekend? Anyone?
I have a gripe with Rory McIlroy.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
+9.
Yeah.
You're the favorite to win by that much, and you shoot +9 through 2 days. Like, really? That just sums up like how it is for me betting golf. I'm not even going to try anymore. Like, I'm better off just throwing darts at the board.
Yeah. I was upset about the Rory pick on Thursday. And then, I was like, whatever, though, because I was feeling really good about the rest of my picks.
Yeah.
Because I had Nick Taylor to win. That was looking great. I had Shane Lowry top 10 or top 5. That was looking pretty good. I had Taylor Pendrith top 10. That was looking really good. I had Taylor, Hughes, and Connors to all finish top 20, the all Canadian parlay. All of that, I was like, man, this is going to be a great weekend. So I don't even care that Rory's shit in the bed. Whatever.
Yeah.
And then none of it hit. I missed like every one of those picks by like 2 strokes. It was brutal. It was just a big old kick in the nuts to not get a single one.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the last 2 tournaments I picked the top 3 guys to win the tournament just in a top 20 parlay. And then last week, 3 of the top 4 guys in odds to win, and neither of those hit. And not only did neither of them hit, I think only like 2 of the 6 actually finished in the top 20 in any of those situations. Golf is cooked for me. It's over. I tried to do the stupid thing of like, let's make $6 on this bet, and I can't even do that. I pressed the proverbial easy button of betting on this sport, and they're like, what if Rory's the worst golfer on the planet for 2 rounds? What if he sucks major ass for 2 rounds in a row? And then that's what happened. So I bet golf this week. I couldn't tell you anything. I will not recommend, despite the fact that this is a betting show. I cannot, in good faith, recommend that any of you listen to anything I have to say. That's kind of my gripe, is with the entire of the sport. Like, remember when Dalton was basically like, baseball's not a sport? Golf's not a sport. At this point, for me, it might as well not be. What are we doing? That's my
I just can't get over a +9. I mean,
yeah.
I literally I didn't watch on Thursday, and then I turned it on Friday morning, and I saw he had a +10, and I legitimately thought like I was going blind.
Yeah.
Watch him win the U.S. Open now, because now we're all gonna fade him.
Yeah.
Well,
I was about to say I know we were saying to not bet golf, but it is a pretty important tournament this weekend. So
yeah, oh yeah, I'm gonna set
shout
my
out
money fire, don't worry.
Shane's hat. Shout out.
Right in my neck of the woods, about 20-minute drive from where I'm at currently.
Yeah,
you're gonna be live from there, right?
I will not be appearing.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that much. I don't think I could get within 10 miles of Oakmont during the tournament without being backed up in the traffic. So,
they make the tickets relatively accessible, though.
Yeah,
PGA does do a good job of that.
Yeah, like I could probably have gone if I wanted to. I just had no interest in dealing with all that.
Yeah,
so,
no.
Like, I'm good. So
yeah. Well, speaking of the game 3 tonight, what do we have live? Who wants to kick us off?
Let's see.
I'll kick us off real quick. Actually, I do have a 5-leg parlay that I have tonight.
Ooh.
Yeah, 5 legs. I have Tyrese Halliburton over 2.5 threes. He's currently got 1. Took a Pacers alternate spread of +14.5. It's currently tied. Took 6+ Siakam rebounds. He's at 4. 7+ Hartenstein rebounds. He's at 1, and then 6+ SGA assists. He's at 3.
So
It's at plus 500.
I fear you may not hit that one, Casey. I fear it.
Why?
1 rebound from Isaiah Hartenstein.
Yeah.
Currently, that's tough.
He yeah.
I mean, he can get 7. He can get 7 in the back half of the game, but
I'm hoping. I mean, he's huge. Oh, where'd I go? There we go. Yep. All right. So yeah, that's what I have live right now. Dalton, what do you got?
Oh, live. I'm taking.
Well, no, like what do you have? Like, do you have anything?
Oh.
Did you bet anything
So
before the game?
I got this morning. I got Pacers money line at plus 180, so I'm riding that.
Nice.
But yeah, I got some live. We're not doing the live ones yet, right?
not
No,
quite.
we're gonna wait till halftime.
Sounds good.
Still got about 2 minutes still then. So yeah, the Jake, what do you got?
Yeah, for me, it's just the I took their money line at plus 122, and that was when it was 42-42. So that's all I got. That's for tonight, though.
Gotcha. And Shane, what do you have right now for the game?
I was forced to take Thunder money line because I need them to win the rest of the games for my 4-1 pick to hit. So I will bet them until they lose it, and then once that can't win that anymore, I don't care. I'll do something else. So you're currently muted, Casey. Just so you know.
Sorry about that.
The old mute button will get you every time.
Yeah, I had to cough and then I forgot to go off of mute. But there we go. Halliburton, another 3. So we just need 1 more from him. But we have like a minute and a half until halftime on that game. So we'll come back to that and we'll play something live. It's currently 58-56 Pacers. Dalton, I know you said you have something fun to bet on for the summer, so why don't you go ahead and kick that off? What do you got?
All right, so I was giving out some NCAA lacrosse bets earlier this year. Now we're on to the pros, the PLL, Premier Lacrosse League. Just kicked off, I believe, last week or 2 weeks ago, but we're still pretty early on into the season. This weekend we're in Philly for all the games over at Villanova. And I got there's 4 games this weekend to bet. I just straight bet them all. We've got tomorrow night we've got the Boston Cannons, or Friday night we've got the Boston Cannons at the Philadelphia Water Dogs, who are at home this weekend. I'm taking the Water Dogs at plus 114. Gotta go with the Philly team, obviously, but also like they're a good squad. A lot of talent. Also, that's the league owned by, or that's the team owned by the Pardon My Take guys.
Oh yeah, I thought that sounded familiar.
Huh. Interesting.
Yep, that's their team. They like legitimately own like a stake in the team.
Interesting.
And then for the other game that night, we've got the Atlas at the New York Atlas at the Maryland Whip Snakes.
The who?
I'm taking Whip Snakes money line at plus 110. The Maryland Whip Snakes.
Okay, carry on.
Everyone knows them.
And I got to go with probably my favorite player, Matt Rambo, on the Whip Snakes. I like the Whip Snakes to win that game. A lot of these PLL games are a toss-up because it's an 8-team league. So pretty much anytime you get plus odds, it's not a bad bet. A lot of these games are usually 1 to 2 goal games. And then for Saturday, we've got the California Redwoods at the Utah Archers.
Okay, I like that.
I'm taking under 23.5 total points in that at minus 115. And then in the final game, the Water Dogs, they have a doubleheader this week. They are playing the Denver Outlaws in their second game. And I've got Water Dogs money line at minus 145. That feels like a pretty safe bet this week. So that's what I got. It would not let me parlay them because it won't let you parlay like 2 games in a doubleheader. Same way for baseball.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
It's kind of that rule.
All right.
Yeah, I agree.
So lacrosse. Does anyone have anything for motorsports? Jake, does F1 have anything going on this weekend that you're betting on?
Yes, there is.
What do you got?
There's the Montreal Grand Prix this week. I got 4 bets. They're not a parlay because I don't really care for the odds on some of them. But I'm taking Lando Norris to win at plus 150. He's leaving not leaving. He's leading the Drivers' Championship race right now. So he would be the champion if the season ends today. And he's in a McLaren, so he's got the fastest car. I think anytime you get 150 or over for him, it's worth taking. So I'm taking him there. And then I have Isaac Hadger to finish top 4. He's kind of been surprising. There's a lot of rookies in F1 this year. I think there's 6 rookies out of the 20 drivers. But he wasn't one of the ones expected to be anywhere near the top half of the standings, but he's been pretty good. He's on Red Bull's second team, so he's driving basically their second fastest car. And he still managed to get 2 top 6s the last 2 weeks, and his odds to get top 4 are plus 1,200. So he's been hovering around there. It's really hard for someone in that car to get top 4, but he's been surprisingly doing really well. I think this is a good good value for him. So I'm taking him there. And then I have, as I do every race, I'm taking McLaren double podium. It's gone from minus 250 the last couple weeks to minus 300 now. So I guess people are catching on, but it's going to happen. Like, it's just free money. And then final bet I have is Charles Leclerc for a podium finish at plus 150. He gets like 3rd or 4th every race, it seems. So plus 150 to get 3rd, which he's done a few times now this year, I think is pretty decent value.
Yeah. All right, that's F1. And then for our American counterpart, NASCAR, we're actually going south of the border to Mexico City for the Viva Mexico 250.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we're bringing NASCAR to Mexico. Yeah, it's like the NFL. They're just
is this the
NFL's playing. I don't know if it is or not.
They haven't been there. So there was an Xfinity race there back in like 2008. That's the last time NASCAR was down there.
So basically,
never. So like Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr., they've raced in it. I think Hamlin might have, but like most of the cars on the track, most of the drivers on the track are not familiar with this track, with the exception of an open wheel driver that is racing in NASCAR this year, has pretty decent amount of experience. Shane Van Gergsen, however you pronounce it. You familiar with him, Jake? I think he does F1 or Indy.
I've heard that name before. I think he's an Indy driver, but I'm not entirely sure.
I think he's the favorite to win this weekend.
He is.
Yeah.
He is, because he's the only guy with any like experience, and this is like a true this is very much like an F1 track.
Yeah. Dalton, do you have any picks for this race?
I do actually. I have one this week. I took I went away from William Byron this week. This week I'm taking Chase Elliott to win at plus 1,000. Chase Elliott has been stupid good at road courses this year, but somehow has not been able to win. A lot of it's been kind of bad luck. And I just think in a race where nobody really has any familiarity, it's going to really come down to being top road course drivers. And SVG, the issue for him is going to be he is racing with Trackhouse Racing, which is a smaller team. So, like, at the end of the day, the car's probably just going to quit on him. And, I mean, there's a reason why most of the races are won by Hendrick and Joe Gibbs racing cars. There's a big reason why. They have the most money. They have the best cars. It's why they win most of the races. And I think for that reason, I think it's going to take a good road course driver in a very good car. And I think the best candidate for that is Chase Elliott. And the value is terrific at a plus 1,000.
Yeah. Shane, do you have anything? I just had to ask.
The only comment I have is that I'm not sure if NASCAR and Mexico are a good combination of things right now. But I'm not gonna elaborate on that beyond that. But
Yeah, what a time to have the
but,
Yeah.
first one.
that's neither here
I know,
nor
right?
there. But
Is
you know.
NASCAR going to be the hero that everyone needs in this country?
I honestly, I wish I could say I hope not, but I'll take anything at this point. So
Yeah.
I will not get in their way if they want to do that. But no, I will eventually pick something in a race.
Yeah.
But it will be not right now. So
Gotcha. All right. Jake, do you have anything for NASCAR?
Not this week, no.
All right.
well, my guess was no, considering when you said
Yeah.
it's in Mexico, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
all right, that's pretty cool.
Sometimes I'll bet on F1 races and just not remember like where they are.
That's
Yeah.
fair. Well, with F1, I can understand
when
that.
when you asked me, Casey, where it was this week, I had to go like look real quick. So
Yeah.
that is something that I would do.
I get
I
that
wouldn't-
though.
I
More.
get it.
I get that more with F1 because that could be a lot
Yeah.
of places. I feel like, but no, that's cool.
I picked just two guys to finish top three. It's not a parlay. Both of them are at plus 225. I picked Dalton's favorite, William Byron, and then Kyle Larson. Both these guys are top of the leaderboard in points, NASCAR. So, and with no one really having any experience besides that one guy, I don't know, went with something that felt safe. But you know how
I like
you know
it.
how
I
that
hope it
goes.
hits for you this week, Casey.
Yeah. So we'll see. It is halftime now. It is currently 64-60 Indiana Pacers in the lead. So whoever has money line, look to see if you have any cash out options if you wanted to, and put on something else. But let me see what the current lines are at. minus 1.5 for the Thunder and plus 1.5 for the Pacers. Minus 1.5 is at minus 105, and then the plus 1.5 is at minus 125. Money line is currently minus 110 for the Pacers and minus 120 for the Thunder, and the over/under is 235.5 at minus 110 for the over and minus 120 for the under.
All right. I'm gonna double up on, or not double up on, but I'm not, because I've already got the Thunder to win. I'm not gonna do a separate bet of that, but I will take. I think it's gonna end up being under 235.5. And I have that actually minus 108 on a FanDuel right now. So I'll take.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I feel like it's gonna get a little bit more gritty, kind of defensive down the stretch of this game, if I had to guess. So I'll take the under there for me.
I like that. I also am going to take the under, and then I'm just going to put the Pacers plus 1.5 in there. See what happens. That's at plus 210. All right, let me get that in. Dalton, you liking anything? Jake?
So I'm also taking the under.
Oh boy.
But I don't know why, but I kind of hedged because I just threw a little bit on the under. But all of my props kind of would benefit from a higher scoring game. I took a bunch of player props at halftime because I already had plus 180 on the money line for Indiana. Yeah. So like there wasn't much in the result that's going to help me at this point. But I did take a bunch of player props.
Okay.
So I took Miles Turner 3+ 3-pointers at plus 225. Okay. I took Pascal Siakam 25+ points at plus 140. Oh, by the way, Turner's at 1-3, so he needs to hit 2 more for that bet to hit. Siakam's at 13 points, so he's a little more than halfway.
He's on his way there, yeah.
And then I took Alex Caruso 20+ points, rebounds, and assists total.
Okay, he's already at 8.
So he's at 8 for that. That's at plus 360.
Pretty good.
So I like the value on that. I feel like if this does become like a shootout, I feel like that's gonna hit. And then this is my favorite pick. I got TJ McConnell 8+ assists at plus 400.
So you got 4.
He's at 4 right now. He's halfway there. So I kind of like that. And then I did also parlay all 4 of those picks together. I just threw like $1 on it just for fun. But that's at plus 12,000.
Yeah, I figured it'd be somewhere in that range. Yeah, healthy.
Figured you'd like that one, Shane.
TJ McConnell is currently at 6 points. I might bet him to go 15 plus because he's going crazy right now.
Oh yeah, White Iverson.
Yeah.
TJ McConnell will just like every so often will just like drop some sort of ridiculous style, and you're like, oh, TJ McConnell's still playing. That's cool.
I'm gonna put
I say
TJ
Sixers
McConnell.
legend, right?
I miss him so much.
Just one of those guys you got to have on the team, you know. Shows up
He's like
first.
he's like one of those guys that I feel like only does well when he plays your team. Like I don't think I ever see him like these playoffs he's been going crazy, but like over a regular season, like he won't do anything and then he'll just like play your team and have like 13 assists or something.
Feels like it.
Well, he's one of those guys that because he comes off the bench, if he's not coming off hot, he doesn't play much.
Right.
And so, like, there's games where he just won't play a ton. But when he's on, and also he's just a guy you want to be able to bring off the bench whenever.
He really is such a good bench player.
Prototypical backup point.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. 33 years old now.
I still say, I still say if the Sixers had TJ McConnell and Jimmy Butler still on their roster, they'd have multiple titles.
Oh my gosh!
There you go.
Multiple.
If
multiple.
At least one.
We went from multiple to one.
At least one.
Listen, all I'm saying is that TJ McConnell would not have made Joel Embiid's knees work. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. So, and I feel like that's the only thing that would have gotten you multiple titles. But hey, you know, whatever works.
So yeah, that's did we all give our current NBA picks? Jake, did you give your what you like live?
Yeah, well I'm still have the Pacers money line, and then I was gonna bet the under, but all of you bet the under, so I'm taking the over just
there you go. That's the way to do it for sure.
It's just not gonna it's not gonna go well if I also bet the under. So
it's trending in your favor if they keep going at this pace.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Come out and shoot like 10 for 10 both sides. Start the game.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and move over to baseball. We're already almost wrapping up with the show, man. We need football to get here.
Yeah, so I can absolutely
I got some football bets. Don't worry.
All right.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll save that.
I need to jump on that with you, Jake. I totally forgot about it.
Yeah, we'll save that for the end, and then I'll see if I can get something here. All right, so baseball tomorrow. I just have one play, nothing crazy. It's a 3-pick play. I got the Cardinals money line against the Brewers. Sonny Gray's pitching. I just want Sonny Gray to have a fun day. Detroit Tigers money line. Scooble's pitching. Not much else needs to be said. Yankees Royals. I picked Yankees money line. Aaron Judge is good to hit in the baseball. So if you take all three of those, that's a plus 353.
All right.
Yeah. Anyone else got anything for tomorrow?
I have a parlay.
Yeah, I got
you got first on.
Yeah. I got a 2-leg parlay. I call this I hate those New York teams that just try to buy titles.
There you go.
I wonder who he's betting against.
Those expensive New York. They're both.
Yeah, they both do it.
Yeah. So I'm taking Royals money line at plus 123, and I'm taking Nationals money line at plus 193. But I parlayed them together at plus 550.
I actually love that. I might have to fade myself.
Might have to fade
if
myself.
Both the New York teams lose, plus 553 odds.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I actually do like that. That could. You never know. Jake, you got anything for baseball tomorrow?
Yeah, I've got a 4-leg parlay. I'm following my rule, and I'm betting against the Rockies and the White Sox. So I'm taking the Astros minus 1.5 and the Giants -1.5. I would bet against the A's, but they, thankfully for me, don't play tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm also taking the Tigers -1.5 because Scooball is on the mound, as you said, Casey.
Yeah.
And the Orioles just, I don't know what happened to the Orioles this year, but just not good. I think they are the only team in probably like the last 11 or 12 series the A's have played that have lost a series to the A's. Just hard to do. And then the last one I have is I took the Cardinals -1.5 at +134 because I like Sonny Gray and I like the odds on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are my four.
I forgot Sonny was in Oakland for a while.
Yeah, I remember. I think he got traded in like 2016, and then he went to the Yankees, and they hated him.
He was not good for the Yankees, and then he went and he's been good literally everywhere.
He was so good on the A's too, and then he went to
Yeah.
the Yankees and just played like trash. It was so funny.
He was pretty sick.
Yeah, dude. Then he came to Cincinnati. I was like, this dude's Cy Young again. Let's go. So yeah,
Can't wait. Now that you guys both bet on him, though, his shoulder's gonna fall off.
Well, Dalton, I hate to
guys.
break it to you, but wait 1 second.
Go ahead, Shane.
No.
I got the Tigers -1.5 because again, Derek Scooble's on the mound, best player on the planet currently as we speak.
Yeah.
Cardinals -1.5 because it's Sonny Gray.
Now his whole arm is just going to explode.
He's going to end up throwing it at the catcher by accident.
Can I bet on Sonny Gray to get Tommy John surgery now?
You probably can somewhere. I don't know if you want to, based on where you'd have
+115.
Yeah, +115.
Yeah, you're gonna have to take that offshore.
They watch the show +115. Cubs -1.5 because the Pirates playing them, and I don't really think I have to explain it beyond that. And Astros -1.5. White Sox, as Jake said, bet against the White Sox if you can. It's probably a good bet, despite the Astros having a down season. But it's White Sox. That altogether +1669, so not too bad.
Yeah, that's actually pretty nice for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, sorry, Sonny Gray. I know you're watching.
Good luck out there.
Yeah, good luck. That's all I could say. Let's
warm that arm up real good.
Yeah,
warm that arm
real
up.
good. So we have, is it game 4 of the Stanley Cup Finals, I believe. Florida's up 2-1. Yeah. The game is in Florida, or where is it? Miami, whatever it is. And I went with the parlay for this game, and I'm going all in on Edmonton. I got the Oilers money line over 2.5 team goals by Edmonton, and then Connor McDavid anytime goal scorer. I have a 20% boost on this, and it's at +414. So nothing crazy, but I'm going all in on Edmonton. So do with that as you will.
I'm also taking the Oilers this week.
Hell yeah.
At +130. Oilers money line. I just think after dropping the double overtime game and then getting blown out in game 3, at this point, if they have a pulse, they have to win this game. At this point, they have to. Everything has to be on it. You can't drop this game if you're Edmonton, and so I'm taking plus odds on them because I have to believe they're still alive, and they also still have the best player on the ice in Connor McDavid.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that double overtime loss was quite a change in this series.
Yeah, that hurt.
But I'm not betting on the Oilers. I'm betting on Florida. I got them -1.5. I really just like the +164 odds on this. That's the main reason. I do think Florida wins. The Oilers will come out hungry because they're coming off probably their worst game of the playoffs so far. But I don't know. I mean, Florida, they beat this team last year. It just seems like they have more of that championship pedigree right now. I also am taking the over 6.5 goals at +105 because I do think this will be high scoring. I think Florida will score a couple to go along with me taking the spread there. But I do think players like McDavid and Draisaitl are going to come out hungry after how the last 2 games have gone. But yeah, those are both my bets. Really, I just like the odds on those two. That's the most part. I think it's going to be a close game regardless, but I don't know. Florida just seems to be more built for a Stanley Cup final right now to me.
Yeah. I will say in playoff hockey. Sorry, I was gonna say I will say in playoff hockey, -1.5 is kind of a cheat code to bet on because like really like a lot of games don't end as 1-goal games because teams pull the goalie, and they usually pull it earlier in playoff games.
Right.
I think game 2, Edmonton pulled the goalie with I think like 2.5 minutes left. Edmonton pulled their goalie in that game too. So like a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, I unfortunately am going down with the ship with Edmonton. I think I gotta bet them to win. Like I had them winning the series 4-2. I have a sneaking suspicion that's not going to happen. But if they're going to do it, it's got to start then.
Yeah.
So I got to keep the faith. Will I ever bet on specifically the Oilers ever again if they were to get blown out in this game in particular? No, I will not. But until that happens, I got to do it. No, I'm out. I'm good. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I got for that.
Hey, the road to 4-2 starts tomorrow.
Be better.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm with it. But
yeah. All right, that's hockey, Stanley Cup. Now, Jake, go ahead. There's something we've all been dying to bet on. So, what do you got for us?
Canadian football.
Here we go.
I'm gonna preface this 4-leg parlay by saying that I don't know anything about the CFL, and I did not watch any games last week. I'm simply going off the week 1 results. But I do remember how these teams did last year, so I have like some prior knowledge, but I don't know who they added. So surely that will make people confident in these picks. But first one, I'm going with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers money line at +154 against the BC Lions. Winnipeg got the week 1 bye, so we haven't seen them yet. BC is a good team, but Winnipeg
bold strategy to have a week 1 bye.
Yeah, what is a week 1 bye?
Well, it's a 9-team league, so there's like 4 games every week, and then one team gets a bye every week.
Who does that?
Honestly, it comes out to it's probably going to be what the NFL schedule looks like in like 5 years because it's 20 weeks and they all play 18 games and have 2 bye weeks. So I feel like that's kind of what the NFL is going to look like.
They play 18 games in the CFL. What the fuck?
They play in a 9-team league, so they play every team in the league 3 times, or at least twice.
And they play some teams 3 times. Yeah,
that's absurd. That is
incredible,
patently absurd.
Incredible.
I don't know if there's. I don't know if there's enough places in Canada for more than 9.
They better find some, bro.
Yeah. It's almost as if Canada shouldn't have its own football league.
Hey.
That's like
Sri Lanka. All that open
our
Canadian
listeners need to know their bets for this week.
I'll have you know, I went to Canada once. I've actually been to a Canadian football regular season game, believe it or not. When I went to Canada, did I enjoy myself? Kind of.
Same.
Which game did you go to?
Yeah. Did you go to a football game?
I did not. No.
Okay.
How was art? Who'd you go to see?
Think it was. I want to say it was an Ottawa game, but honestly, I could not tell you for sure because it was like 8 years, 10 years ago now. God, I'm old as shit. So 10 years ago now. And I could not tell you for sure. I want to say that the Argonauts were in the game, but I don't think it because I didn't go to Toronto. So I'm pretty sure it would have been in Ottawa at the time, but I'm not sure. Good
old Ottawa Red Blacks.
Yeah, and I was like 2 colors. Interesting.
I don't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Speaking of the Red Blacks, I'm betting against them. Taking Montreal -3.5 at -120. I just think they're a better team. If I'm not mistaken, they won the championship last year. I'm about 90% sure.
We're like 90%. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Confident picks here.
Yeah.
I'm taking Toronto -1.5 over Calgary. I think they're just a better team. And then I'm also taking Saskatchewan -3 against Hamilton. Hamilton's just bad. They were the worst team in the league last
And that
year.
would have been a really bad sentence like 5 years ago to say Hamilton's really bad. But I don't think I'll put myself in timeout. Hold on a second.
The good old Hamilton
All right, yeah,
Tiger
so
Cats, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my locked in 4-leg parlay for Canadian football. Will I tune into a snap of any of these games? Probably not.
Yes.
But
Can you?
I will check. It's probably on like ESPN 9 or
Yes.
something.
I will watch every one of these
Nine.
games.
That's
You know what they
definitely
do?
an NBC.
The CFL is exactly what ESPN Plus was made for.
I agree with that.
When you
Yeah.
think
But
about it.
I think they do play the CFL games for free.
Yeah,
Sick.
that's probably either on
Yeah.
NBC. Like, no, I think NFL Network actually shows them, if I remember
Do they?
correctly.
Let me look.
Sick.
I think NFL Network might. And my guess would be maybe FS1. That sounds like an FS1 thing.
FS1 would definitely do that. Yeah, they would for sure show that. I did a parlay while we were doing other things because I thought it'd be fun, and I did the fun thing of just taking the underdog to win outright in all 4 games because why not? So I got the Blue Bombers +150 to win outright, Red Blacks +155, Stampeders +104, and the aforementioned Hamilton Tiger Cats at +134, all to win outright, and that got me on a 4-leg parlay +2,943. So if that one hits,
Nice.
I'll start betting
It's
that golf.
Yeah.
CBS Sports Network. Is
Yeah.
what
CBS
broadcast
Sports
that.
Network.
Which also sounds fitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it on
So-
Paramount Plus? Can I watch it on Paramount?
Yeah. They
Probably.
used
Probably, honestly.
to. I remember last year you could just go on their website and they literally live streamed every game.
That might be better.
But I don't
honestly.
think they do that anymore. So
They learn self-respect. They're like,
Yeah.
we can't just put it out there for free.
They got that big CBS Sports Network deal. I don't know.
Yeah,
if they
right.
yeah, they got the
They can give it out for free
freaking
anymore.
MLB and they're running their marketing and how to
Yeah.
grow the game.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Let's just make people pay for product they don't even know about.
Yeah,
All right,
right.
why am I bashing the CFL right now?
I don't know. We really
All
don't
right,
have to be
so
doing that.
yeah, let's just all right. We're done. No more bets for the night unless
We're
anyone
done.
else- Yeah,
We didn't do golf, did
currently.
we?
No, we didn't
Yeah,
do
we
golf.
did.
Yeah, I got some US Open bets.
We did not do U.S. Open, Casey.
Oh, we did it. You're right.
Oh no, Casey's cooked.
I thought we
It's
were just
over.
saving it to
What are we
win.
doing?
I thought we did. I thought we
Yeah.
did. All right, so we do hit the U.S. Open.
He's like, sorry guys, nothing else going on. It's
I
not
thought
like
we
I was
talked
wondering
about.
when you went to Jake for Canadian, I was
It
like,
would
wait a
be
second.
so funny
I
to,
thought-
to do all the small tournaments like the Canadian Open and stuff,
Yeah.
and then just not do the
Yeah.
US Open.
it was
Yeah.
like
We
just
when
never
we
set
just
majors.
didn't do what was it like
That should be
Belmont,
our
whatever
thing.
else we didn't do.
No, we didn't do
We
the
don't
Kentucky
do-
Oh, we
Derby.
didn't do the Kentucky
don't-
Derby.
yeah.
Yeah,
We don't bet the Kentucky Derby. We don't bet any majors for golf. We don't bet the
No.
Daytona 500 for
Yeah.
NASCAR. We don't bet the Super Bowl, the World Series, Stanley
Yeah.
Cup,
None of
NBA
that.
Finals. We don't bet any of that. We just bet
But we
regular season games and like small golf tournaments. That's it. That's the show.
and CFL.
And obscure
Yeah, and
sports
CFL.
leagues.
And then
Yeah.
we say it's like because it's pure that way. We we don't have
Yes.
to worry about who wins the actual like leagues and stuff. We don't care about that.
that's too mainstream.
Yeah, exactly. We're too mainstream.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ. Anyway.
I like these leagues before anyone knew about them. All right.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't know why. I thought because we talked about Shane living near Oakmont or something like that.
Oh, we
or
talked about
like-
that and then didn't do golf.
So I
actually.
just figured we talked about golf
We
for some
griped
reason.
about
Sorry.
golf.
we did.
Yeah.
We did gripe
Yeah.
about it. I was
All right.
mad last week, so there's that.
Yeah, so let's just we'll jump into it. I'll kick us off here. I had 3 picks actually. I don't know why I went overboard after golf's been kicking my ass.
U.S. Open, man. You gotta just
You got
gotta
to
do it. You gotta do it.
So I took a bet from last year's winner, DeChambeau. I did him to win, but it's without Scotty Scheffler, and it's at plus 650. Just you never know. And then I took Dustin Johnson top 20 at plus 450. He's the last time this tournament was played at Oakmont, he was the winner. So I figured let's just go ahead and see what he can do. And then I did a 4 guys to finish in a top spot. So I have DeChambeau top 20, Wyndham Clark top 40, Fitzpatrick top 40, and John Rahm top 30. All of these guys have won in the past 4 years, and all 4 of those are at plus 575.
It's pretty good for where you have them finished.
Yeah. So gave myself some leeway there, not just going top 20 on them. All right. So that's what I got.
What do you got, Dalton?
So I got 4 bets this week. My first one, I am taking Scotty to win at plus 275. I feel like plus odds on Scotty right now is just too good to pass up. And then if DraftKings will load on me, there we go. I took DeChambeau top 5 at plus 160. I feel really good about him to finish top 5. I think he's got a shot to win this week because Oakmont does reward driving. So obviously DeChambeau gets a leg up there. But shot making is very important as well. And I think that could cause him to have a couple of rough holes that keeps him from winning, especially if Scotty's on. So that's why I'm hedging and just taking top 5 on him. And then I'm taking Colin Morikawa to finish top 10 at plus 180. I think this U.S. Opens have been very kind to Morikawa in the past. I don't think this will be any different. I expect him to be in the mix. And then, I took some longer hitters for those 3 picks. For my top 20 parlay, I took guys that I think don't necessarily hit the ball long, but they're pretty accurate, and I think that's going to be important. They're also guys that are playing good golf lately. So for my top 20 parlay, I've got Keegan Bradley, Nick Taylor, and Aaron Rye to all finish top 20 at plus 3860.
Pretty good.
I just have just 3 picks this week. I'm not going to parlay these because I don't think there's a way it all happens with my luck. But I took Scotty to win at plus 275 just because maybe I just need to do that to get something. But he's been doing well.
Recently, so.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. I took Bryson at top 5 at plus 160. And I know they all have practice rounds, but I watched a YouTube video last week of him playing the course. So he's been there for a while, getting acclimated. But he typically is near the top in majors. So he's doing pretty good in the Masters recently until the last day. He kind of fell off a little bit. But at plus 160, I think it's good value. I think he'll definitely be up there. And then I also took Rory McIlroy top 10 at plus 110. I think this might be a little better value because he was so bad last week. And, if he plays bad again, then oh well. But I'm willing to take him bouncing back after what had to be like the worst performance he's had as a pro, I would assume.
One of them it's got to be, yeah.
Yeah, it was up there. But, I'm not going to parlay those, but I think all 3 of those have a decent chance.
For me, I have Scheffler winning, of course. I got him at plus 280 on FanDuel, so I guess a little bit better there. A tiny little bit more value, but whatever. Again, because he's the only thing that seems somewhat consistent in golf these days. And then my top 20, I do have 2 very much should be gimmies, but it won't be because it's me, with DeChambeau and John Rahm. And then Shane Lowry is one of the only golfers that's really done anything for me this year when I bet on him, so I threw him in there as well. Minus 290 for DeChambeau, of course, top 20. Rahm minus 220 and Lowry plus 115, which I was a little bit surprised by, but we'll take it. But with those 2, you kind of headlining it's still only plus 320 for a 3-legger. So
that's still solid value.
Yeah.
Until all of them finish in the 50s and I die. So we'll see though.
I'd be surprised if any of them The only one that I could legitimately see finishing below 40 is John Rahm. If he had if he's fully cooked.
he can sometimes do that.
Yeah. All right, now I think we got everything. Currently, let's check in on the NBA game. What are we at? Last time, I think the Pacers were up. Obviously, it's not loading now.
They're up
79-76.
Okay. Yeah. So, and there's 5:40 left in the third quarter. So the under.
None of my props look good.
Yeah. Hey, there's still plenty of game left. We appreciate everyone for watching episode 13. Next week, maybe the NBA finals are still going on.
I forget. I can see when it would be potentially especially if the Pacers win. We assume the series goes for a while.
Well, yeah, true.
I think it would be next time. It'll be Friday. Game 6, if needed, will be the day after our next show.
Okay.
So it'll be Thursday,
So
19th.
So
we would be. I think so. Yeah.
You never know. The Pacers might just.
If this doesn't go 6 games,
yeah, for a multitude of reasons.
Hey, there's a way to put your money where your mouth is on that.
I already did it. I'm already cooked if they lose tonight. So.
All right. So we'll go ahead and get out of here so we can go ahead and watch this game and sweat out our live bets or not sweat them out, depending on how you're feeling about them right now. So we do appreciate everyone for watching. We'll have an MLB parlay for tomorrow. We'll try to get that out as soon as we can. It'll be another 4-legger of anything, pitching, batting, team prop, whatever. So look for that, and we will see you next week.